like black movies, like where they're more tough and ghetto and stuff. But this one was dope. It's called Fast Color. It's really fun. I like because the gist is that there's this girl running away because she has this deep hidden power that causes catastrophes, and she's running away from a certain group, and she needs somewhere to go. And then this is a good movie, and I don't want to ruin that one, but it was pretty good for a PG-13 film, and I liked it. So check out Fast Color on Hulu.
Cool.
And I guess whoever wants to go now, now's your time.
I guess I'll go. So I've been watching a lot of Netflix. So these picks are on Netflix. Of course, I told you guys earlier before the show, I've been watching Narcos. I'm not really interested in the Colombian story that much. I guess I don't know if it's like a culture thing maybe, or I'm just like really not my thing. But I started watching Narcos Mexico, and it was like really, like especially growing up in a border town like Tijuana, you always heard stories about what happened and stuff and
Michael Pena, right?
Yes. So I mean, like, I would say probably like 75% of that is real. What actually happened?
Still very Hollywood.
Yeah, but I mean, I really love this. I really love how they portrayed a lot of characters, because it really did feel like I was watching almost kind of like a documentary, dude. Like it was pretty nice. It was really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I can't wait when they're going to renew a third season, I believe. I think Bad Bunny has a role in the next season coming up, from what I was reading. So yeah, if you haven't watched Narcos Mexico or Narcos in general, go look at it. And I'm not just saying because I marked the fuck out when I heard some Sica Folk en Español bands playing in the soundtrack. But yeah. And then another one, it's from Mexico too, from Netflix Mexico. It's called Daughter from Another Mother. Really funny show, especially if you're even if you don't understand Spanish, you could just feel the humor coming off of these characters, and I love that the protagonists are women in this, especially because it's from a different class, different social groups or social gatherings or social classes. So it's exciting to me to see, I love seeing shows written by women for women, and I love the fact that, like, we need a little bit more of this. I mean, we've been getting this movement, but not something in this manner sometimes, So it's exciting. It's cool. Go check them out if you have a chance. If you don't understand Spanish and you like to read subtitles, this would be the time to go do it. But if you don't, I mean, there's always other stuff to see. So, but personally, I would say give it a try. Super cool, super awesome. And yeah,
it's my turn.
It's here for the mighty wag, the mighty swan, the mighty swan.
All right, I got two brand new films that are on VOD currently. The first one is the directorial debut from Emerald Fennell. Promising Young Woman is a modern classic right out the gate. The film stars Carey Mulligan, Bo Burnham, Alison Brie, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Adam Brody, and the list goes on. As you may remember, Carey, from her stunning work in Drive, she now takes over the driver's seat as Cassie, a swift and intelligent woman with a dark agenda, one that leads her into a double life. Check it out on VOD as soon as you can. It sits high right now at a 91 on Rotten The price is, because was supposed to be dropped into theaters. It's $20 just to rent right now, so it's a little steep, depending. But I will say this: I think it's 100% worth that money. So check it out. Promising Young Woman, crazy epic revenge film. Probably my new favorite revenge film, like overall, if that means anything.
Yeah. God damn.
Check it out. Life-changing shit right there. Promising Young Woman. And then my second one, although it doesn't hit quite as good, it's a little film called Run, Hide, Fight, starring Isabel May, Thomas Jane, and Eli Brown. It's an awkwardly fun action film that pits a young teenage girl who's already battling her own demons against a group of school shooters. Sounds bonkers, right? This film was bananas in its mix of heavy Die Hard style gunplay and the all too real tragedy of students turning on their peers. I believe this film is very controversial right now. I think the original studio that was going to release it went bankrupt, and another studio picked it up, and they are, I believe, don't quote me on this, but like conservatives or something. So the film was kind of accused of pushing like a kind of right-wing narrative. But when you watch the film, I think it's very apolitical and doesn't lean towards either side. It's a really fun movie if you can believe that I'm saying that about a school shooting movie, but the way that they do it, the aesthetic, the style it's a very good watch. It doesn't have a good score on Rotten at all. I think it might be 41 or lower. But I think Run, Hide, Fight was a lot of fun, and kind of a different take. It's weird because it deals with this sensitive kind of taboo subject matter the way that, we just did, what's that movie called? The Dirties, a few weeks ago. And this one kind of dabbles in that, but it keeps its feet kind of firmly planted in this kind of over-the-top 80s eccentric violence, which is very interesting to watch play out, if that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Run, Hide, Fight. Check it out if you guys are into that. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting ride.
Nice.
For sure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
All right, so this week we're talking about Sunshine. It's rated R. It's from 2007. It's a science fiction film. It runs at 1 hour and 49 minutes. It's got a 77 on Rotten. It was written by Alex Garland, directed by Danny Boyle, starring Cillian Murphy, Chris Evans, Rose Byrne, Benedict Wong, Michelle Yeoh, Cliff Curtis, Troy Garrity, Hiroku Sanada, and Chipo Chung. The film takes place sometime in the future where the sun is in danger of burning out for good, thus ending mankind as we know it. To prevent this, a crew of 8 journey to the sun with a payload that could potentially ignite another star within the sun. However, when humanity comes into play, the mission soon turns sour. In 2005, screenwriter Alex Garland sent his script idea for Sunshine to director Danny Boyle. There was an instant connection between the two because of Danny's fascination with space and sci-fi, and they had also both worked together previously on The Beach and 28 Days Later. When they pitched the script treatment to 20th Century Fox, they were shot down because the studio believed the idea was too similar to the then recent Solaris remake starring George Clooney. This led them to the sub-studio Fox Searchlight, which gave them the green light for the project but couldn't afford the film's $40 million asking budget. So, they secured outside financing through various connections in the UK, although the actual filming process only took about 3 months. Pre-production and editing took a few years, which ultimately led Boyle to distance himself from the genre altogether. Upon its release, the film was criticized for its scientific inaccuracies. However, the production did have on-set astrophysicists and NASA employees present during production. It turns out most of the inaccuracies that happen on film were intentionally used for cinematic value. Overall, Sunshine is a beautifully crafted film that plays well within the realm of sci-fi, religion, and psychological horror. With the film's multicultural cast, both men and women, who were asked to live with each other for 16 months prior to production, you can definitely feel the chemistry and the familiarity, between them all. Not to forget the cinematography efforts by Alwyn H. Kuhler, who played with the color cues of the ship's interior and created an incredibly eerie and claustrophobic vibe. The film's score also helps with the undeniably scary and doomed nature of this film. It's a wonder how such a bright concept failed to impress at the box office, only bringing in a total of $32 million worldwide. Perhaps it was a cult classic ahead of its time. Thank you.
Nice. Fire, bro. Fire.
All right, James. I know this was kind of a staggered episode, so you've probably been foaming at the mouth to finally talk about it. So let's hear your thoughts on the film and why you wanted to make it a focus for us.
Yeah, so I remember seeing this. I think I actually, I want to say I got this movie in a bin from Walmart on DVD. Just randomly saw it, and from what attracted me to it was the cover, and I was just like, oh, that looks pretty cool, you know. I think I was still in high school at the time. This movie came out in, 2007?
Yes.
Yeah, so, I was still in high school, and that's where my, part of my picking of movies was if the cover looked cool or not, or the actors that I knew the actors in the movie, and I had seen a few of these actors before in films, and I don't know what it was, just made me purchase it. I believe it was only like $5 or something at the time, and in watching it, I remember just thinking like, this is so amazing. And I remember asking my friends after watching it, like, a little while, maybe a year or so later, asking them, bringing this movie up, and no one I knew had ever seen this movie, which was pretty wild to me. And up until now, there's a couple people that I'm friends with now or talk to, and they have seen the movie, but still a very few people who have seen this, or it's a very small group of people that I think have watched this. So I think that had something to do with maybe maybe it wasn't commercially successful with its, maybe the advertising for it wasn't so good. I don't know. I never saw this in the theater, so I can't say what did it for them. But I really enjoyed this one. I think the characters, the ensemble cast, everyone did great. I feel like there was no one who was really left out. I think everybody had a part to play, and they all played their characters great, no matter who it was, whether it was Chris Evans being like the kind of stick to the plan and kind of no remorse type of character who's like what he played, kind of like an asshole really, and not really moving from the mission, which I thought was looking at it now, was something that he really had never done in his career, kind of playing like the asshole type of character. And Killian is also, he's great in everything pretty much that he does. I think the first film that I saw him in was actually Red Eye, and that was an amazing film. But I think just like visually, I thought it was really awesome. Like just seeing the sun and how they did that, I thought it just amazed me when they like the scenes that do show the sun, and kind of how almost like hypnotized their therapist is throughout the film, of like kind of in this trance of soaking up like UV rays and stuff. I think that was kind of weird to think that he's like the psychologist on the therapist on the ship, and he seems like the more crazy one out of the entire bunch. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think it was. I mean, I think it should be better than a